In this video, we're going to take a look at attachment 1, which is residential districts. That's actually, there's a copy of this in the zoning folder, so if you haven't printed it out, please pause the video, print it out. This way you can follow along as we talk about it. Let's pull this up. And this is what we have. Along the top, along the top row, we have the different types of districts. A residence 1, A residence, A residence 1, A residence 2, B residence 1, and you can read the rest of them. Down on the first column, we have some very, the uses of where these dimensions are going to come into play. So the first one is the maximum height in feet/stories. So your building cannot be more than 35 feet or 2 1/2 stories. That marries up with the New York State Building Code. Residential structures cannot be more than 35 feet high, and they cannot be more than 2 1/2 stories without special permits. Okay, so you can't get into a 3-story house, but you need special permits for it. As of right, 2 1/2 stories. The minimum area, okay, this is lot area, not the size of the building. So for an A residence, 1 family, the minimum lot size is 30,000 square feet. That is what we consider to be 3/4 of an acre. So if you take the size of an acre, 43,560, and you round it down to 40,000, we call that a builder's acre. All right, we do that because you can do the math in your head quickly. It's not a true acre, it's a builder's acre. 30,000 is 3/4 of a builder's acre. So that's the minimum size lot area. For A1 residence, they call that 1 acre zoning. It's 40,000 square feet. It's not truly 1 acre, but it's builder's acre. For the A2, it's 80,000 square feet. And if you go all the way out to the right side with the A10 zoning requires 10 acres, which would be 400,000 square feet, or 10 times 40,000. So all the lot minimum areas are in that third row. Then you have the maximum total building area as a percentage of the lot. So if you take 15% times the 30,000, that will give you the minimum size of the building. And that would be, let's grab my calculator real quick. We've already shown this in the code itself. So 15.15 times 30,000. The maximum building area, building size on a lot of this size is 4,500 square feet. So let's go back into the code and take a look at that real quick, because I know some of you may remember that that's not the number we saw before. Oh, not that one. Okay. So we have to go, and this is where you have to learn to go through this sort of quickly. So residence districts. So we looked at A residence. A residence is a maximum size of 11,250 square feet. The table's saying that the maximum size for a 30,000 square feet lot is 15%, or 4,500 square feet. That's a difference of close to 7,000 square feet. How does that happen? Well, what happens is, if you take a $30,000 square foot lot times 0.15, that's equal to 4,500 square feet. That's the size of the house. If we go back and we look at 11,250 square feet, that's the size of the house. That would be 15%. See, 11,250 divided by 0.15. That means if you have a piece of property that is 75,000 square feet, so divide that by 43,560, that's about 1.7 acres. Okay, then you can have a house that is that large, 11,250. The size of your house cannot be more than 15% of the total building area. Let me ask you, 4,500 square feet. That's not a small house. Again, it's not very restrictive. I would love to have a house. Maybe I won't. So, it's a lot of upkeep on something that large. But that's how you figure out the size of the house. All right, we'll stay over here since we have this up now. So then we have minimum road frontage. And I'm not going to go through each of the zones. We'll take a look at A residence zones, and then you can do the same calculations for all the other zones. So then we have minimum road frontage, measured at a point so many feet back from a street line. So it's 150 feet, 40 feet back. So what we're looking at here is if you have, I'm kind of just do these all over the place. If you have, there's our house, little chimney, and our driveway. We need to have 150 feet at a point measured back 40 feet from the road. Now, some of you are looking at that saying, well, it's a rectangular lot, so why would you have that be an issue at all? It's going to be the same width all the way through. What happens if you're on a cul-de-sac? And the lots are broken up that way. What we do is we offset the cul-de-sac 40 feet, and then we measure actually on an arc. That has to be 150 feet wide, 40 feet back. Because we measure it here, this may be something like, I don't know, let's just say it's 100 feet wide. All right. It's not going to, it's got to be measured up going back 40 feet. If you have 150 feet from here to here, if that's 150, then that will definitely be more than 150. Okay. So then we have the size of the yards. So your minimum front yard is 40 feet, the side yard is 20 feet, the total of the two side yards is 60, and the minimum rear yard is 60 as well. So if we take a look at our, let's go back to this one we have right here. So it's telling us that our minimum front yard from here to here, minimum 40 foot minimum. It can be more than that, not less. Your side yard, it's not measured to the driveway, it's actually measured to the house itself. Call this dimension A and dimension B. A plus B must be equal to 60 feet or more. And A must be greater than 20 feet and B must be greater than 20 feet. So if this is 20 feet, this has to be 40 feet. If this was 30 feet, this has to be 30 feet or more. Okay, it doesn't have to be, because if you look at a 150-foot side yard, 150-foot wide lot, and you're taking 60 feet with the side yard, you're looking at a house that's going to be 90 feet long. That's a pretty long house on there. These are all minimum dimensions. It doesn't have to be that big. It doesn't have to be bigger than that, but this is the smallest it can be. That's really the basics of what they allow you to do with the property. Oh, the rear yard. Rear yard setback, that is 60 feet. Okay, that is 60 feet that your rear yard setback is. When you're designing out a subdivision, you have to site the house on each of the pieces of property. And what this does is this creates what we call the building envelope. So if I take a piece of property and I make it square and I offset 60-foot rear, let's just say a 30-foot and 30-foot side and a 40-foot front, well then my building envelope is here. I can put the house any place in here that I want. I can put it back here. It doesn't matter. But as long as it's within that location, I'm good. So I'll put my house. See, I could be an architect. I'll make the house a little bit weird shaped. Little hip roof. All right, I'm getting beyond what we need to talk about. All right, last thing, accessory structures. What else can you put on your property? Accessory structures would be things such as larger sheds, garages, barns, greenhouses. If you wanted to have a permanent shade structure, like almost like a wooden canopy or roofed over area you could do picnicking in your own backyard under, something like that. That has a maximum height of 18 feet. It cannot be less than 10 feet to any particular lot line. It's got to be set 60 feet back from the street. So like something like a carport that might be on the side of a house, that can't be towards the 40-foot front setback. It's got to be towards the rear setback of the house itself, 60 feet off the front of the house, off the front of the road. And then it cannot exceed 25% of the required rear yard area. So whatever is designated as your rear yard area, however many thousand square feet that is, it cannot be more than 25% of that. So again, it's pretty generous with what they give you. It's not overly restrictive, but those are the requirements.